All right, it is day 5 of beef, and I am actually just getting back from the gym, and I'm going to be consuming probably about, I think we'll see how it goes, but at least 4 pounds of beef, potentially 4.5–5 pounds. So we'll see how it all goes. On the menu tonight, it's going to be about 2.5 pounds of eye of round, and let's see here, about a pound of what's labeled as stew meat. I'm kind of curious about that, and a pound of ground beef. It's actually a little bit more on the stew beef and ground beef, so that's why it might be closer to 5 pounds. But anywho, I'm going to see how it goes. My normal meal eating pattern that I've been able to accommodate to is eating about 4 to 5 pounds of meat in a single sitting, and that being my only meal of the day. It's working out really well so far. And again, I'm thinking of trying to eat like a predator. So, for example, too, one of the other things that I'm going to switch is I'm going to eat after I work out, because you think about it, and a predator probably starts getting hungry, and then they go on a hunt, and then they eat. So, a lot of times, and I know it's the paradigm of working out and building muscle to basically eat and then work out, and they even talk about pre, peri, and post nutrition, which, I mean, don't get me wrong, they all have a lot of credibility to them, but I'm not eating like that. I'm not taking a lot of supplements. I'm not taking any supplements. I'm not consuming any salt. I'm not doing a lot of things that people normally do when they work out, whether it be strength training or bodybuilding. So I'm switching, I'm looking to nature and switching to that particular style. So, but hey, I just want to get on film real quick, consuming this amount of beef. And I do have to say though, if you plan on consuming 4 to 5 pounds of beef in a single sitting, plan on taking a nap afterwards. Now that's another thing that they do in nature too. Animals, they gorge and then they sleep. It helps the digestive process. So at any rate, I think my water's about boiling, so I think I'm going to start with my eye around. So I'm going to keep this rolling. I'm kind of curious to see how quickly I could eat this. Now, if I was doing ground beef, I could probably eat 4 pounds of ground beef in about 4 minutes. Maybe 5. So it wouldn't take me that long, but some of these cuts, especially the roast, are a little chewy. This eye around, it looks like it's very well marbled, but it looks like it could be pretty quick. So, and this time I am going to have a fork and knife. So at any rate, I'm going to go check on it, and I'll be back in a minute. All right, so kind of embarrassing little blip there. Apparently I filled up my internal hard drive on the camera. I hadn't really deleted anything yet, so I just had to delete some things. And oh no, my steak got cold. Haha, that's a eating bunch of raw meat cold joke. Anyway, I've got my cat bothering me now again, but I'm going to see how long it takes me to eat this. This might not be the best time to do this, but in terms of timing wise, I don't know why I'm really timing it, because again, this, although it looks to be pretty good, but again, very fatty, and some of the fat particularly, it's hard to cut, and you kind of have to, when it gets like that, again, see, very rare. Okay, I'm filming. I got a camera up there. Oh. Ooh. The fat on the edges is really best eaten all at once. Eat the meat around it. Goes pretty quick. And then just swallow the fat. Now, your body will take care of that fat. You might think, wow, I'm swallowing a chunk of stuff my body isn't going to handle. Well, it will. Trust me. The big difference between some of the fat on some of the roast and like your steaks, like your ribeyes and even ground beef, is that this is very chewy fat. It is like you really can't chew it apart. It really doesn't pull apart. Like it's pretty rubbery. So you kind of have to take it in small chunks. You don't bother trying to chew it too much. It's not gonna do nothing. Chew the meat that's around it still. And just swallow it. Because, yeah, you're not gonna chew through it. So, at any rate, I was getting fairly tired there. These couple pieces of fat a little bit. I don't know. Alright. So, let's get the next one. Stew meat. Let's see how that is. Alright. This is 580 grams of stew meat, and I guess it really is stew meat. I couldn't tell on the packaging, but I guess it's already kind of diced up for you and everything. So, well, let's see how this is. No big chunks of fat, so this should go pretty quick. Don't have to cut it either. Pretty good. Yeah, I've been missing out on this stew. Bam! Let's see what we're at. So it took me about 5 minutes for that £1.25. So now onto the ground beef, the finishing touch. Once again, I'll be right back. $500 of ground beef. Now, you know, it took me about 5 pounds, or not 5 pounds, it took me about 5 minutes to get that roughly £1.25 of stew meat. Now normally, you slow down as you eat more. And I've already had 3 3/4 pounds of beef. But this, let's see if I can do this in a minute. Go. Fork shenanigans. less than 2 minutes. So there you go. That's why I leave the ground beef to the very last, because it is pretty easy to consume and consume quickly. Well, that was, let's see here, that was a grand total of 27 and a half minutes so far. Let's see here. Let me get my handy dandy calculator, aka phone, aka stopwatch. We all know how it goes. So that was 500 grams of ground beef plus 580 grams of stewed meat plus 1130 grams of the eye of round for a grand total of 2210 grams. Divide that by 453 grams for a pound reference. And yes, folks, that was 4.87 pounds of beef in 28 minutes. So again, I ate some cuts that really doesn't lend itself too well to eating quickly. But I just wanted to get that on video saying, hey, wow, this is what I'm doing every day. This is, I'm going to consume this much meat. And just basically as the proof that, hey, this early on, that I'm doing that. I'm not exaggerating. So there it is. Now it's time for a little bit of water and my nap. And then I've got some more things to do in about an hour or so. So, hey, hopefully everybody's had a wonderful Memorial Day weekend. Remember your veterans and fallen vets, around the world. And on that note, until next time.